What's up everybody, it's Sean here, and I'm here today to give you guys my overdue review of the Sacai collaboration with Nike on the Zoom Cortez in the white and University red colorway. Today's video is sponsored by Heffelux. Heffelux is my all-time favorite sneaker insoles, and they sell eTPU insoles, which really is the same material you'll find inside Adidas Boost. So if you're looking to add some additional comfort inside your shoes, be sure to check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box. You'll see they sell a variety of different insoles, so depending on the type of insole density and the cushioning setup you're looking for, you're going to find there's a suitable insole for anyone. So I've been a paying customer of Heffelux for years now, and I personally find them to be extremely comfortable. So if you guys want to check them out and try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code BOO, that's BOO at checkout, and get 33% off your entire purchase. So this right here is the latest collaboration between Sacai and Nike, and these dropped back on August 31st, but I managed to catch a restock over at Notre last week. So these released for a price of $185 US or $240 here in Canada, and the colorway for this shoe is white, light cream, and university red. So in typical Sacai fashion, this is a reinvention of a classic Nike silhouette. And for this time around, celebrating the Nike Cortez's 50th anniversary, I think it's fair to say that this is a very unique and very distinct reinterpretation of the Cortez silhouette. So it basically combines elements of old school with new school. And the way I see it is how would the Nike Cortez look if it combined elements of modern day technology? And I guess you can see the end result is this right here. So diving into the details of this shoe, the upper of the sneaker for the most part, this is constructed out of a white colored nylon material. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have this gray colored suede, which has a nice very soft feel to it in hand. This same suede covers the eyelets of the shoe, and it's cut in this jagged like fashion like your typical Nike Cortez. And then printed on the nylon itself, we have a gray colored swoosh, which is found towards the forefoot area, and this extends onto the secondary swoosh, which is stitched onto the mid panel, and this is constructed out of a very soft tumbled red leather. When you compare this to the medial side, you'll see this side looks much more like your classic Cortez, so we have this simple red colored swoosh which stands here alone. Moving downwards on the heel, we have two layers of suede. So the outer layer is a gray colored suede, and underneath this we have a secondary layer of blue colored suede. And above this we have more of that red colored leather, and we have Nike and Sacai co-branding stamped on in navy blue. In typical Sacai fashion, where you see common elements like dual swooshes, dual laces, it also has dual collars as well. So we have the secondary collar, which is constructed out of a navy blue colored nylon, and the top eyelet is covered in a navy blue colored suede. And towards the heel, this is covered in this white colored leather as well. For the laces, these also come with two laces which are intertwined together. However, unlike past Sacai releases, where oftentimes they give us two colors of laces, for this pair they're both done in white, one in a flat style cotton lace, and one that's done in more of a rope style. Underneath this, we also have two tongues as well. The top layer is constructed out of a white colored nylon, and we have this nylon tag with Nike and Sacai co-branding. And the tongue underneath is constructed out of a blue colored nylon, and we have a tag here as well with just the Nike logo. The interior of the shoe is lined in a navy blue colored textile, which feels very silky and smooth to the touch. And then as we move on to the insoles, so these come with a thin foam lined insole. It's colored in this navy blue color on top, and once again we have Nike and Sacai co-branding stamped on the heel in white. So the upper of the shoe sits atop this very chunky foam midsole. So towards the forefoot, you'll see that the midsole is painted in a combination of gray and this cream or off-white color. But this slowly transitions, and on the heel, the midsole here is painted in cream on the top, and we have this blue colored foam wedge underneath. And once again, in typical Sacai fashion, protruding out of the heel, we have a third layer of foam, which is done in this dark blue color, and this gives the shoe a very distinct and very futuristic look. And probably the most radical change on the Cortez is the inclusion of Zoom Air cushioning on the forefoot. So this is visible on this window on the lateral side, which helps give the shoe a very responsive and very bouncy feel on the forefoot. But in terms of the density of the foam on the rest of the shoe, I feel like the cream colored foam that's used on the top of the heel, this feels softer to the touch compared to this blue foam wedge on the bottom, which feels a little bit sturdier when you compare it to this cream colored foam that sits above it. Turning this pair over to the bottom, finally here we have your outsole, which is more of your traditional Cortez outsole. So this is constructed out of a white colored rubber. We have this herringbone style traction pattern that runs from heel to toe, and we have the Nike logo right in the center. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, so I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and for normal Cortezes, I usually go up a half size to a 10.5. However, for this pair, this feels much more roomy and they're much more wide foot friendly. So generally speaking, I feel like this shoe fits pretty true to size even if your feet are a bit wider, and if you're in between sizes, I'd probably round down to the smaller size to give you more of a nice snug fit. Moving on to the comfort, so in my opinion, I feel like this shoe is a significant upgrade over the normal Cortez. The Cortez in general is a very flat and very minimalistic shoe when it comes to the cushioning, but this pair really upgrades that significantly. Both the foam that's used on the shoe as well as the inclusion of the Zoom Air, it makes the shoe feel much more bouncier and there's a ton more cushioning underfoot. But because you are stacked higher off the ground, you lose some of that stability that the Cortez has. But I think the upgrades you get from the cushioning and comfort is definitely worth the stability that you sacrifice. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, material quality, I thought it was solid. The leathers and the suedes used on the shoe felt pretty good quality, but in terms of the nylons used, I'm not an expert on this sort of material, but to the touch, it felt pretty thick and it felt like it was a decent material as well. But in terms of the overall build and craftsmanship, I don't know if I just got unlucky, but my pair had quite a few flaws. There were a lot of glue stains all over the upper of the shoe, like on the swoosh and on the heel, and there were a lot of extra long threads that I had to trim off myself. And while these weren't major deal-breaking issues, it was kind of annoying that I had to clean up the shoe even though they were brand new and dead stock. So hopefully your pairs were a little bit better than mine. So with all that out of the way now, let me throw these on feet and I'll show you guys how these look. I gotta say, when I first saw the images of the shoe online, I was not a fan of this pair at all. But over the weeks and seeing other people get them and wear them, they've definitely grown on me a lot. When I have these in hand now and actually trying them on feet, I think they look a lot better on other people's feet, and they look a lot better from a side profile perspective than when I'm actually wearing them and looking down and seeing how they look from above. I think from above, it looks much more like a normal Cortez, and honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the Cortez silhouette, but I'm digging the fact that this is more of a futuristic take on the Cortez, which is what drew me to the silhouette in the first place. I also like this classic colorway of this white, red, and blue. This is that classic Forrest Gump colorway, and I think it's going to be pretty hard to top this colorway when it's all said and done. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think with the Sacai Nike Zoom Cortez in this white and university red colorway. What are your overall thoughts on the silhouette? Are you a fan of this futuristic take on the Cortez, or is it not really your thing, and do you think that Sacai did a little bit too much in this design? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys all in my next review.